The first ever Mini Cooper JCW is here. While the petrol version is coming, today is all about Mini's first performance EV, and it really marks out a new era for the brand. We also have the new Mini JCW Aceman as well, with the same underlying technology, drivetrain, etc. But let's talk about performance and range first of this new Cooper. Finally, performance figures are here. We've been waiting for them for a long time, and we now know that these cars both have 258 horsepower and 258 foot-pound of torque. The three-door accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour in 5.9 seconds. Eastman 6.4, a little slow in our book, but that's what you get when you have a single motor front-wheel driven car. You're really limited by traction. As you previously reported, the J01 and the J05, so that's the Cooper and the Aceman JCW, have an ace up in their sleeve in the form of electric boost function. It does activate a bit more power, so it does give you a boost quite literally. One of the things that's also interesting is the weight of these cars. So the new J01 JCW is 3,814 pounds. That is almost 800 pounds more than the forthcoming gasoline-powered JCW Cooper. So pretty interesting. Obviously, there's a difference there in terms of how the car will feel at the limit. But remember, all this weight is really, really low to the ground, so it kind of reduces the effect weight has. Still, it does limit certain things. And when you're talking about a very long track, for instance, you'll see the difference. Speaking of long tracks, the actual top speed is down. So typically electric cars from Mini are limited to 170 kilometers an hour or 105.6. Mini has upped that to 124 miles an hour, but it's still short the 152 that the gasoline powered JCW will have. Again, that car is coming. Range. So range is down. As you can imagine, these are more performance oriented. So the JCW Cooper now gets 231 versus 252. The Aceman gets 221 versus 250-ish. That's WLTP. Expect EPA ranges to go down from there about 15, 18% if these come to the United States, but more on that later. Suspension brake upgrades, like all new JCW products, we've got better suspension, basically tuned to be more responsive in larger brakes, specifically for piston up front, different pads as well. The style itself, a lot of people are disappointed. I know we at MotoringFile are as well, because there's basically no differentiation between the JCW style and the JCW. We think it really kind of devalues the JCW product itself, but it doesn't mean there's no changes. There are some. The front and rear has essentially little vertical red pieces, chili red plastic pieces that mark it out as a JCW. It also has a lower valance in the rear. Essentially, you can call it a diffuser, but it's not really functional. That's painted body color. You can't see it so easily in the press shots because of the color of the cars, but it is painted body color. And then finally, the inset of the hatch is black with a sort of a checkerboard pattern. Very noticeable on the wider cars, lighter shades. On the darker, of course, not so much. Wheels are unique. Okay, so there's that. On the JCW Cooper, they're sort of a four-spoke design, similar to the GP, if you will, aero design. There's also an interesting sort of like a blade wheel we saw at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. We're going to assume that's a factory option. We don't see it here in these photos. The Aceman's got some funky wheels. We dig. Pretty interesting. Very aero inspired for sure. Okay, launch. So the Aceman and Cooper JCWs will be produced starting in January 2025. They're made exclusively for the time being in China, and they're going to be, of course, imported into Europe, Australia, Asia, and South America. North America will not be getting these cars. However, these cars will begin to be produced in Oxford, England in 2026. That means we will likely see them in other markets like North America, where tariffs, of course, play a large role in what gets imported. So that is a very, very quick look at the new Mini Cooper JCW and the new Mini Aceman JCW. We're going to see a lot more about these cars. So stay tuned to MotoringFile. You're going to see a lot more about this. And of course, that forthcoming petrol-powered F66 Mini Cooper JCW. If you like the video, please give us a like. And of course, if you want more Mini news, exclusive Mini news, you'll definitely want to subscribe.